A dozen eggs, $3.59. A gallon of milk, $3.50. Chicken breast, $2.05 per pound. For a household of two, that weekly grocery trip might run $40 or $50. For a family of four, it can easily exceed $80. 2 or 3 years ago, those same items were significantly cheaper. Eggs were under $2. Milk was under $3. Chicken was closer to $1.50. Prices have not come back down. And here is the part the news is not telling you. They might not come down anytime soon. On April 4, 2026, the United States and China escalated their trade war. New tariffs, new restrictions. And while politicians debate trade deficits and manufacturing jobs, the consumer is the one who pays the price. This video explains what just happened, why groceries are still expensive, and what people can actually do about it. Welcome to Vibe and Sense. Here's what happened. On April 4, 2026, the United States imposed new tariffs on $50 billion worth of Chinese goods. That includes electronics like phones and laptops, steel and aluminum, solar panels, and medical supplies. China responded within 48 hours. They placed new tariffs on U.S. goods, including agricultural products like soybeans, pork, and wheat, as well as cars and rare earth minerals used in batteries and electronics. This trade war is not new. It has been ongoing since 2018. But this escalation is different because it directly targets consumer goods, the items people buy every day. And that is why the average person is about to feel it in their wallet, if they have not already. Here's how a tariff works. A tariff is a tax on imported goods. The U.S. government charges Chinese companies a fee to bring their products into America. But the Chinese company does not pay that tax, the consumer does. When a Chinese electronics manufacturer has to pay a 25% tariff, they do not absorb that cost. They raise the price of their products. The U.S. retailer pays more. The retailer passes that cost to the customer. A phone that cost $800 now costs $1,000. A car that cost $30,000 now costs $35,000. And when China puts tariffs on U.S. agricultural goods, American farmers lose a major customer. They raise prices for domestic buyers to make up the difference. That means pork, soy products, and even animal feed become more expensive, which raises the cost of meat, eggs, and dairy. Tariffs are a tax on everyone who buys things, which is everyone. Here's what consumers will pay more for in the coming months. Electronics, the next phone, laptop, tablet, or gaming console. Most of these are made in China or use Chinese components. Expect 10 to 20% price increases by summer. Cars, especially electric vehicles. Many EVs use Chinese batteries and rare earth minerals. Even US-made cars use Chinese parts. Tariffs raise the cost of manufacturing, and that cost is passed to the buyer. Groceries. This connection is less obvious but very real. China is a major buyer of U.S. pork, soybeans, and wheat. When tariffs make those goods more expensive for China, they buy less. American farmers then raise prices for U.S. consumers to protect their profits. That means higher prices for meat, dairy, and eggs, and processed foods. Clothing and shoes. Most fast fashion and footwear come from China and Southeast Asia. Tariffs mean those price tags are going up. Even rent. When building materials like steel and aluminum are more expensive, new apartments and homes cost more to build. Landlords raise rents to cover higher costs. It's indirect, but it's real. Here's the honest truth. Nobody is winning this trade war. The United States wanted to bring manufacturing back to America. That has not happened at scale. American factories are not suddenly making iPhones or laptops. China wanted to reduce its dependence on U.S. markets. That has not happened either. They still need American consumers to buy their goods. Both economies are hurting. Both countries are paying the price in higher inflation, slower growth, and frustrated voters. The only potential winners are countries not directly in the fight: Vietnam, Mexico, India. They're picking up some manufacturing that has left China. But that transition takes years, and it doesn't help consumers today. For the average person, they simply pay more for everything. People can't change trade policy, but here's what they can do to protect their wallets. 1. Buy used: electronics, cars, even clothing. Tariffs hit new goods hardest. The used market is largely unaffected. 2. Delay big purchases. If a purchase can wait 6 to 12 months, wait. Trade wars eventually de-escalate, or supply chains adjust. Prices may stabilize or drop. 3. Shop seasonal and local. Tariffs hit imported produce and goods hardest. Buying what is grown or produced locally, in season, is often cheaper and unaffected by international trade disputes. 4. Build an emergency fund. When prices rise unpredictably, having savings provides options. A household with savings is not forced to buy at the worst possible time. 5. Don't panic. Inflation and trade disputes are real, but panic leads to bad financial decisions. Stay the course. Keep investing. Keep saving. Focus on what can be controlled. Trade wars feel big and scary. They are, but they're also cyclical. The United States and China have been trade partners for decades. They have fought before. They have made up before. They'll do it again. What matters most is not the headlines. It's the viewer's own financial foundation. Can they absorb a 10% increase in their grocery bill? If not, what can they change this week? Do they have a few $100s saved for when a phone breaks and new ones are more expensive? Are they building skills that make them more valuable in the job market, no matter what happens to the broader economy? Those are the questions that matter. The news will change. Financial habits are what actually protect people over the long term. If this video helped explain what is happening in the world, hit subscribe. Vibe and sense makes finance make sense. Drop a comment. What is one thing you've noticed getting more expensive lately? Make your money match your vibe.